Greetings, I'm Solidus-Skully, and welcome to the Freelancer commentary and Microsoft Game Studios. Oh, well, this is definitely going to be a blast from the past from me, because you're about to take a look at another one of my most nostalgic games from my childhood, as I already mentioned, Freelancer, by developers that sadly no longer exist with Digital Anvil. Oh, what a shame. Just kind of jumping straight into things at this point by jumping into the game's intro. So, to those of you, well, even if you are familiar with my channel, I don't think I've really talked about these sorts of games before, but what is Freelancer? Well, if any of you are familiar with the Wing Commander series, yeah, basically, it's kind of got its DNA origins there, but it basically goes Wing Commander, then a spiritual successor in Starlancer, and then a direct sequel in Freelancer. But, yeah, if you're familiar with that should probably give you an idea of what you're in for here, but Freelancer is basically a space combat game. That's a direct sequel to Starlancer, obviously, which was, well, more of a directly linear space combat game, but Freelancer, on the other hand, well, as we'll get into, has a little bit more of an exploration focus, you know, with a bit of combat mixed in, and just plenty of elements that, well, wanted to make this universe feel big. I mean, again, I know a lot of people, I suppose in more recent years, we're probably talking about stuff like, I'm trying to remember what those games were. I know one of them was No Man's Sky, and another one was, I don't know, some bullshitey space exploration game that everybody apparently hated. But whatever, unlike those other games, Freelancer is actually good. Even in spite of having a very fucky development cycle that, didn't incorporate everything the developers wanted. But in any case, I am talking over this intro because, well, again, a lot of this backstory is basically just sort of related to both how we're going to get into the Freelancer game good and proper, but in turn acting as sort of an epilogue to Starlancer. I can't quite remember how that game concluded, but basically, yeah, the war between the Alliance and the Coalition still went on. Basically two different factions, the Alliance pretty much comprised of, America, Britain, Germany, Hispanic countries like, Spain or whatever, as well as, of course, America, fuck yeah, against the Coalition, basically against the forces of Russia, China, and North Korea. Yeah, so sadly, countries such as, Australia, Sweden, and, wherever else, have all been wiped out, so unfortunately, the Solidus-Skully of the future is no more. But yeah, basically the plan of the Alliance is that since they're pretty much fighting a losing battle to control, our Milky Way galaxy and Earth, yeah, they're pretty much going away and starting again, off in the Sirius systems. So, yeah, that's pretty much their attempt to escape. Which is kind of making it a bit of a bleak ending to Starlancer, considering that all your player character fought for was pretty much for naught, so yeah, Coalition wins. Enjoy your dead galaxy, Russia, China, and everywhere else. Oh god, this game is either going to be oddly prophetic in years to come, assuming that humanity doesn't get any worse, but yeah. Either way, basically, this is pretty much meaning in terms of Freelancer that, different parts of the Sirius system that we're going to be exploring throughout, the gameplay, is going to be inhabited by, different parts. So, again, different planets and systems are named after, various aspects. The Liberty, let's use that for example, their central planet would be Planet Manhattan, Rhineland would be, Planet Berlin, Bretonia would be, Planet London, Leeds, all that kind of thing, naming after their systems and the various paraphernalia if you're familiar with geography. But either way, they broke through the blockade, and if you're wondering what happened to the Coalition, there is an explanation for what happened to them and, what ultimately befell of Earth, but, yeah, that's, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But in the meantime, though, yeah, they've pretty much settled the colonies everywhere, and, yeah, they have prospered, they have grown. But, yeah, that's pretty much all she wrote. So, now for the main story, go now.
Roger that. All systems show green. SA-14, you're cleared for departure.
Acknowledge, Freeport 7. We'll see you in about 2 weeks.
SA-14, we're picking up unknown contacts on long-range sensors. We're dispatching a fighter wing to escort you out of the system. Godspeed.
Navy Command, this is Freeport 7. We're picking up some strange readings on the long-range sensors.
Unknown ships have breached the defense perimeter. Man all stations!
President Jacoby has asked the LSF to investigate the sudden destruction of Freeport 7. No word yet on whether it was accidental or a deliberate attack. The first handful of survivors arrived on Manhattan this morning.
We're here for medical. Is there anyone seriously injured?
One. Inside. Make sure he lives. He owes me some credits.
Your concern is touching. We'll do everything we can. It may take a while.
Officially, the Liberty Security Force maintains there is no proof Freeport 7's destruction was deliberate, but sources inside the LSF say they suspect the dangerous criminal organization, the Order. We will keep you up to date as the story develops.
Well, now, starting off pretty action-packed. By the way, that was actually the Liberty that was repurposed into a building right there. But in the meantime, on to more important things apart from sleeper ships gone by. Here's our main man of the hour, our protagonist, Edison Trent. But just call him Trent. He prefers it that way.
A Sidewinder Fang.
All we have is Liberty Ale, friend.
Fine.
Her name's Junko Zane. She's a tough one.
Oh, why's that?
She's LSF. All business. If it's a job you're wanting, that is. On the other hand, if you're looking for something more...
Well, the only thing I'm looking for right now is this drink.
I know you.
No, I don't think so.
The news. I saw your face on the news. You're one of the Freeport 7 survivors, aren't you?
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty bad out there. You know, you're lucky to be alive.
Ha.
This one's on me, friend. It's the good stuff.
Why?
Because it's not every day a man has the chance to start again, huh? To your good fortune and liberty, sir.
Well, it can't get any worse. Thanks.
I understand what you're saying, but I don't have nearly enough people.
Junie, the environment has changed. Well, with groups like the Order taking more and more liberties, indeed now threatening our profits, some in the government feel that we need to increase our patrols in these areas.
You Junko Zane?
Yes?
I believe you have business to discuss.
Wait!
I will leave this matter in your capable hands.
Sorry. The bartender said you work for the Liberty Security Force.
And who do you work for, Mr.
Trent. I work for myself.
What kind of ship do you have?
I lost mine. On Freeport 7.
I see. Are you staying in Liberty long?
I've got a friend who was injured in the attack. He's in medical. I'll be staying at least until he's released.
Well, as it happens, I could use a good freelancer, Mr. Trent. I'll be in the equipment room later. You can meet me there. Oh, and if we are going to work together, call me Junie.
Oh, yes, we certainly will. But yeah, if you're going to be wondering what we're going to be doing while we're on Planetfall, yeah, there's not really too much you can really do in terms of, planetary stuff, so most of the game is primarily focused in space, so I'll keep quiet for now and let cutscene go now.
Hello?
I'm pleased to see you. Are you ready to work for the LSF, Mr. Trent?
It's just Trent. And yeah, I'm here to see what you have to offer.
Well, I found this ship for you. It's very basic, and you won't have jump access yet, but it should be good enough for now. This assignment will be easy. All you have to do is babysit a convoy of food and medical supplies. You'll be hooking up with the escort CO King. I'll tell him to expect you. That is, of course, if you're interested.
Sounds good. I'm in.
Good, better get going. I'll have your ship moved immediately. All you'll have to do is go to the landing pad and launch. King will be waiting for you near the docking ring in space, okay? I'll see you when you get back.
Thanks.
So that's pretty much our mission for the now, and also pretty much the extent of our Planetfall gameplay. You're pretty much just sort of selecting through menus. Again, you can pretty much either go to the pub to talk to people, trade commerce, and, you know, patch up your ship, get some new upgrades, but, yeah, primarily when you're in Planetfall, you're just there to, you know, just sort of fuck around and upgrade your ship, or just do whatever, really. But in any case, let's go into space and have more cutscenes.
You must be Trent. I'm King, the CO of this mission. I contacted the lead transport of the convoy. They've completed pre-launch checks and are ready to go. Should be an easy run from here to Fort Bush, and then on to Pittsburgh. Ready?
It's good to meet you, King. Is that a Rhineland cruiser?
That's the Donau, Admiral Schultzky's flagship. He's visiting Manhattan to attend a high-level meeting with President Jacoby. Keep your distance.
Newark Station, this is RNC Donau, requesting clearance to dock with your station. Over.
Affirmative, Donau. You are cleared for docking point 6. Liberty welcomes you and Admiral Schultzky. Donau, be advised, we're picking up unknown contacts. Advise caution.
Understood, Newark. All escorts, power up weapons.
Affirmative. Ready to engage.
Roger. Tracking incoming ships. Unidentified ships. This is Newark Station. You are entering restricted space. Alter course at once or we will open fire.
Newark, do not interfere. We're here to protect the President. Schultzky's a traitor. All escorts, open fire.
Red alert. The Donau is hit.
It was supposed to be a simple job, man, but now we're caught in the middle of a political strife! But anyway, this is pretty much the gameplay good and proper. Again, you have pretty much free access with your ship while you're in, well, free motion, as you can see selected in yellow up on the menu. But yeah, what you're basically doing in Freelancer, you've got shields, you know, you've got a bit of an afterburner to give yourself a little bit of a boost of speed, and of course you have, well, on a very basic bitch Starflyer ship, yeah, just basic laser beams that, you know, you need to use to shoot down these enemy ships. They belong to a criminal cult called the Order. They've, well, I mean, obviously they're criminals because they just destroyed a political, you know, mission, so, yeah, in any case, it's pretty much just sort of a case of destroying ships and, again, I suppose to sort of, go into terms that a lot of more, you know, average video game players can understand, what would otherwise be the equivalent of, all-range mode in a Star Fox game? Again, I mean, there's no real, like, well, Space Harrier / traditional Star Fox-esque sort of gameplay here, so it's very much just sort of, again, you have an open plane to move, and again, this being space, you can pretty much move up in, you know, the three-dimensional plane. You can reset yourself if, you know, if you want to get to a sort of two-dimensional plane, and don't worry, there aren't, like, you know, infinite number of directions where you can pretty much fly off. Again, like a lot of other games where, you know, if you try and escape the boundaries, you'll pretty much, like, warp back into the map, so, yeah. There is a lot to explore in Freelancer, but, you know, at the same time, though, there is also a case of, you know, you need to sort of, limit yourself. But again, if there is one thing I can say about Freelancer in terms of its exploration, it's that, again, it hits the right balance between being open enough for you to explore and find cool things, but at the same time, you know, also keep things in focus, tell you where you need to go, and, you know, just generally keep yourself on track. But in any case, though, yeah, now that we've dealt with that little political fallout, rest in peace, Admiral Schultzky, but apparently he was a traitor. Is there some sort of political strife going on between Liberty and Rhineland? Well, who knows. But either way, things are starting to escalate here, really. But yeah, as we pretty much rendezvous with a convoy that me and King need to, you know, escort away from the evils of political strife and, you know, evils gone by, off to planet Pittsburgh, because God knowing even the real Pittsburgh likely needs supplies. Yeah, in terms of, like, you know, your basic mechanics, again, you have pretty much two other things. As you saw right there, you can pretty much have cruise mode, where you pretty much power up your engines and, well, again, all power to the engines, where you can pretty much boost your way towards your destination. And you can dock with, you know, planets via the docking ring. I wouldn't recommend flying directly into a planet, because otherwise you will explode, because, you know, atmospheric pressure and all that, and, the ships aren't quite reinforced. I'd imagine some of the, you know, frigate class and, you know, stations are, but, not your basic Starflyer or King's little, Liberty Police Force vehicle. So yeah, pretty much press the docking mode if you want to dock with planets or, you know, these little trade lanes, which are, well, pretty much your basic means of, you know, navigating around your basic star systems towards, well, neutral/friendly star systems. Again, you pretty much use this to utilize between well, our current destination here, but you use that to go to other planets, you know, other space stations, and, well, as you're going to be seeing here, let's just say that, well, space is very much the Wild West. You know, any sort of, bandit ships can attack and anything can happen. Hence, the reason why we need to escort New York Station's transport ships over the way to Pittsburgh. I mean, it's very much just sort of space banditos, really, but again, if I can talk about why I do like Freelancer and why I'm probably a little bit more excited and all that to talk about it, it's primarily because, well, again, this game's universe, both as you play throughout the game and, you know, if you're willing to invest in, like, a lot of the smaller details, is incredibly richly detailed, and the gameplay itself is also solid enough so that the space combat gameplay is fun. Oh, and by the way, the fourth sector of your little upper HUD over there, you know, the ships flying in formation, that's how you pretty much get into formation with ships. And again, you can either break apart to, you know, enter into combat, fly on your own terms, or just, you know, stay with your escort and make sure that things don't go wrong. Yep, smooth sailing from here. Nothing will go wrong whatsoever. Oh, shucky darns, trade lanes have been disrupted, which would otherwise be basically the equivalent of space roads. But yeah, these are pretty much going to be your Liberty Space Bandits, the Liberty Rogues. Now again, there are basically two methods to combat and draining their health, really. Again, they have the blue meter, that'll be their shields. You need to reduce that down and make sure that they stay down, and otherwise destroy the red, which is basically their health bar. You also have, you know, similarly, a little, you know, blue bar for your shields and red bar for your health, so, yeah. I mean, again, you do have a shield repair and nanobot repairs, so you can replenish your health in the middle of combat, but, yeah, you do need to make sure to keep your stock replenished, otherwise, well, Trent is gonna be space dust. But yeah, again, by killing enemy ships, they also drop, you know, contraband and, you know, cargo, so make sure to bring that in with your tractor beam, because you can actually sell that off and, you know, allow yourself to get a few neat upgrades with your ship, and, Trent's gonna be pimping out his ride something fierce. But that's about all I'll say about the gameplay for now, because we will eventually begin to get access to other classes of ships, and, you know, I am going to be going out of my way to sort of showcase some of the other ship classes that you'll be able to sort of pick up and customize as the game goes on, but, yeah, in the meantime, though, we just got some Liberty Rogues to take care of. I mean, they are rumored to be affiliated with the Order, but, you know, each sector of the gameplay, you know, in Freelancer does have its own specific, you know, gangs, rogues, rivals, and, you know, all sorts of things based upon different bits and pieces of culture from, well, you know, the planetary star systems and countries that they originated from with Earth. Again, you'll see, again, to use an example from Rhineland, the Red Hessians, you know, that'll pretty much be one of those rival evil space pirates that, you know, you need to look out for. Again, in Liberty's case, you'll also have the, you know, the Xenos, you'll have the Corsairs from, you know, the Spania. Stuff like that, really. Just, you know, bits and pieces of our culture disseminated in the future. Whoa. But in any case, the rogues have been defeated, and, yeah, you can actually mine some of the space garbage for, well, stuff that you can bring aboard with your tractor beam and, trade, which is also a rather important element of, the gameplay if you want to, you know, score some big cash without necessarily getting into, well, major space battles. Although you are gonna be getting into a lot of space battles because, again, kind of inevitable in this sort of game, and it is where a lot of the fun is had. But, you know, there are a lot of dynamics to the gameplay that, again, don't change the game in major ways, but just add subtle little touches that just sort of enrich the experience, and, again, it's part of why I'm excited to commentate on this, man.
Thanks for getting us here in one piece, Gamma 6. We almost didn't make it.
Yes, that's right. It was all entirely due to Trent's influence, of course, and by extension, my influence. You mustn't take any credit, King.
Thanks for playing the bait.
The bait? What do you mean? Oh, we're going to be finding out about that next part, because, well, not next part, we're going to be finding out in the next cutscene as we land on planet Pittsburgh. What a boig. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, for any Sonic fans in the audience currently watching this video, yeah, did you know that Station Square actually exists in Pittsburgh? Yeah, real city, bitch. Bet you weren't expecting that. But yeah, as I mentioned before, standard docking procedures pretty much, you know, play the same way. So again, go towards that docking ring, press the dock button, and, Yeah, off you go and you'll pretty much just chill, dude. Cruise engines activate, triumphant music, stuff. Thank you, computer. Anyway, disabling comms, I'm Solidus-Skully, keep a new metal, and I'll catch you dudes and dudettes next time for the next part of Freelancer. Preparing to dock.
You'll find Pittsburgh to be remarkably unexciting, Trent. That's the mining operation. Not much to look at. A lot of rocks, smoke, and fire. But what it lacks in class, it more than makes up for in cheap drinks. Set your ship down on one of the landing pads over there.
Nice job, Trent. Now I believe I owe you some credits.
Hey, King. Did you know it was gonna get hot out there?
We're not done yet. We're just waiting for the others.
What others?
We've suspected for some time now that the Order has had ties to organized crime and Liberty. They may even be hiding a secret base. I think we're onto something here, and I've called for backup. We could really use you out there, Trent.
All right, but this had better be worth it.
It will be. I promise you. Oh, and, Trent, now that you have a little scratch, I'd look into outfitting that pile of junk you're flying. Try the equipment dealer over there. He always has good deals. I'll see you in space.